Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It is molded in 1/35 scale and it copies Kadett K38 Cabriolimousine. It's written here, it's World War II German staff car. And obviously Kadett, it is an Opel, and now we have a chance to check this new release closer. So first of all, you can notice this nice image on the Boxart. So this is how the finished model will look like in the assembled state, let's say. Box size is not that big here, you can see comparison with my hand. And just to remind you, this release was announced on the recent Nuremberg toy show, and now we have a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same kit, exactly the same parts if you order it from any good model shop, for example Modelimex. So first of all, you saw the box size. Here on this side you can see some information about the manufacturer and also about the kit. So here we have written that the length of the finished vehicle we have will be equal to 111 millimeters, and there is no parts count. As you can see, it includes parts, so no parts count, but we have short history note here. And then on the other side we have the same marking option as the one we see on the Boxart, but I can guess that there will be more. Well, I hope that there will be more. And of course on the sides we don't have anything interesting or notable, so let's open it. The box structure is typical for ICM, so we have this cover printed top cover, and as you can see it is really thin. It does not give the kit any protection at all. What gives protection is this white cardboard box, and here inside we will find all the plastic frames. So here you can see them. All plastic frames are packed into the same plastic bag, and now we are going to open them and check them closer. So just give me a second. Okay, here they are. I can see that finished vehicle will be really tiny, but in my opinion it might be even more interesting to build such a model. Okay, so we are going to start with gray plastic sprue. Here it is, the first one, and let's zoom in a bit. Now we should be able to see it closer. So what do we have here? First of all, we have those big seat bars. We also have the wheel rims, which are molded separately. Note that the spare wheel is molded in the different styling, I would say. We have the tire pre-molded with rim. Also here we have various minor elements for the interior as well as the engine. And the engine, you can see it here. Here we have the exhaust tube, which is molded as one piece part. And also, what is interesting here, in my opinion, is this. Those, as far as you can see, are the brake discs, and here we have the axle. Let's zoom in even more so that you can see these parts in detail. So for example, you can see here the timing belt and the tensioners. Next we have bumpers, wheel rims, brakes, seats. Note that seats who have those handles pre-molded. They might look thick to some others. Well, then you can just replace them with metal wire. Here you can see the spare wheel, exhaust tube, and then here we have engine parts. Overall molding quality seems to be great. I mean, even the thinnest parts are molded nicely without any flash on them, so it's really cool. And next we have another gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to external body panels, but there are some, let's say, internal parts as well. So let's zoom in a bit more. Now we should be able to see it. As far as you can guess, this will be the rear section with the doors. So doors will be molded shut. Here we have the door cards, and this one should be the engine compartment wall. Here we have the dashboard, and we can zoom in even more so that you can see those parts in detail. So again, here we have the door cards, which are molded separately, and note this nice copying of the pockets on the doors. Of course, all handles should be glued separately into these special slots. Here we can see the walls, external walls, and here you can see that those door cards, they have the position pins inside, so you have to use them for the guiding, as the guiding elements, and in my opinion it will help greatly during assembly process. So be sure to use them in the right way, because I saw some modelers just destroy the guiding pins in order to install them into the necessary spot, and that's not the right approach, of course. Next we have another gray plastic sprue, again external body panels, so let's zoom in again. Now you should be able to see it. First of all, we have nice roof here, trunk, the front windscreen, again the rear panel, and parts of the folding roof, which are separated into several sections. Here you can see another one. So as far as I can guess, we can also build the version with folded roof, but we will have to check the assembly manual. And let's zoom in even more. Now you should be able to see these parts. I really like how this textile surface is copied in the plastic. And here you can see inside that we have guiding pins, again for the proper alignment and placement of those parts. Now, because we have the windscreen frame separately, I can guess that it might be possible to paint this part separately and then insert the clear segment, so you won't have to find or cut any masks. But again, we have to consult assembly manual in order to be sure. Here we have the clear plastic sprue. This one is packed into the separate plastic bag in order to avoid any possible scratches and damage. So just give me a second to open it. It is not difficult to guess that here we have the clear parts for the glasses on the car, and molding quality seems to be really nice. Of course, there are no masks included, so you will have to get them from some aftermarket producer or maybe cut them with your own hands. But as I said before, maybe the kit design will allow us to build this vehicle without resorting to masks. We'll see it in assembly manual in a few minutes. Next we have last gray plastic sprue. This one is actually the biggest one in the kit. Let's zoom out a bit. Here you can see it. So here we have the lower body panel, which is molded together with wheel arches. We also have the bonnet parts. Here is the rear section of the vehicle with the fixed roof. Here we have the front mask, again the bonnet parts, and various minor elements for the suspension and engine bay. So let's zoom in a bit. Now you should be able to see it. So I would say everything molded nicely. Note this nice wheel arches detailing. It will be seen through the bonnet. Once you place the engine and maybe open somehow the bonnet, you can expose it. Here we have another front windscreen mask. So in total there are 3 parts of this type. I'm not sure how they will be used. It is worth checking the assembly manual, of course. And let's flip it over. Here from another side we can see some nice detailing here, here, and as well as this bottom panel. So even though those sections or segments will be barely visible on the finished vehicle, there is still detailed, and it's really nice of ICM to think about such moments. Next we have, let's say, the main disadvantage of this kit. This is a plastic bag with vinyl parts. So those are vinyl tires, and as you know, I'm not a huge fan of such elements. And if you have a chance to replace them with resin parts, I would do it straight away, because as you can see, these are quite simple elements. We don't have any writings on the wall. The tire pattern is, I would say, okay for out of the box build, especially if you plan to cover those with dirt, they might be fine. But if you want to expose them in a clean way, I would rather search for some resin upgrade. I hope aftermarket producers will release something what will help us improve detailing of this vehicle. Next we have assembly manual. This one is printed in form of typical ICM brochure. So what do we have here is the short history note on the Russian and English languages. We have also the paints chart. Next we have the parts map. And note that some parts won't be used, so be sure to use the right version. Even some glasses won't be used. It hints on the new types of the vehicle. And here we have small decals sheet, which is dedicated to various marking options which are included into this kit. I do not see, maybe those are the dials for the dashboard, but that's pretty much all what will go into the inside the vehicle. Okay, let's flip over the page. So we start with a floor, vehicle floor, and then we continue with both seats, both rows. Here we install all controlling elements, it means pedals and also gearbox, lever. Then we continue with firewall, let's say. Here we have the dashboard. Next we work on the sidewalls. Here we install the, as far as you can see, we join the walls and sidewalls or door cards together, and then we close interior with these parts. Then we install the rear section. Here you can see we also work on the front windscreen. So as I said, you can paint this part without clear section and then insert the clear part inside. It might be useful in order to avoid any masking. Here we continue with steering wheel, which should be glued out of several parts. And that's quite surprising because before ICM was providing one piece steering wheels. Here we have the engine parts assembly. So as you can see, engine should be detailed, quite detailed out of the box. Of course, you can add some wiring for even more convincing appearance. It will be up to you. Here we have exhaust installation, suspension parts, and next we have again suspension parts. Here we install wheels. So as you can see, you will have to combine the plastic rims together with vinyl tires. Then we continue with various parts under the bonnet. Battery is also here. Front mask, and as you can see, front mask should be upgraded with clear parts, obviously, and some parts of the insignia of this vehicle. Also here we have the bonnet parts, and note that, as far as you can see, we have here assembly option. So it might hint on the possible openable position or open position of this section of the vehicle. So if you would like to expose the engine, think about it. Here we have again two assembly options, so you can build vehicle with closed roof or with folded roof. That's really cool, I like it, because before it was like you get the Cabrio version from ICM and you can build, because assembly manual says so, you can build only the closed version. Now you can build both, so it's really nice that we have the choice out of the box. Here we work on the assembly of the spare wheel, and note again that you can choose between the plastic version, which was molded out of two halves, or you can choose the vinyl tire and also the plastic rim. It will be up to you, of course. Here we install front and rear bumpers, and next we continue with various external elements, which will be finishing steps for the assembly. So in total there are 65 steps to complete. Next we have cover profiles for several marking options. So first one comes from the Germany summer 1939. This one is September 1939. Then we continue with Germany summer 1940. And this one is France 1943. In my opinion, it will be more interesting to replicate this these two marking options because they are not typical gray vehicles, and this might be something unusual. Maybe you can also experiment with some other shades, color shades on this car. As I said before, this kit is already available on for sale, so you can get it in Model MX. I know that they have it for sure. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, and of course you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell button, and then YouTube will notify you about any fresh video review. And of course I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining and watching. Bye.